Hey everybody, I'm Rebecca. I'm your spirit guide with All Star Liquors. And to get ready for Super Bowl, today we're going to be making Jello shots. I've got a couple here as examples. Hopefully you can see the orange and black for the Bengals, and we've got the Rams, of course, it's pretty obvious. The shots we're going to be making today, we're going to be using some rum and some of the limoncello. So, we're going to get started. You're going to add your Jello to the pan and your water. Now, just so you know, I cut the recipe in half just so I can show you how to make a 2-layer Jello shot. So once you get your basic Jello mixed up in the water, you're going to want to take 1 packet of the unflavored gelatin and sprinkle it over the top. It's important to actually let the unflavored gelatin sit on the top of the water, basically, for at least a minute so it loosens up, makes it easier to cook down when you heat it on the stove. So I'll show you that part when we get back. Okay, hopefully you can see this. The gelatin makes kind of a crusty layer on top of the water, and it looks really bad. Don't worry, it's supposed to look like that. And this is the point where you put it on the stove and bring it up to basically a simmer. You don't want to really go any warmer than that. I'll explain why in a minute. All right, once you get it all cooked down, you're going to need to add your alcohol. Now, when you make Jello shots, it's basically 1 part water to 1 part alcohol. So with the recipe cards, it'll be posted at the end of the video. It's 1 cup water, 1 cup alcohol. So for this layer, we're going to use rum. Now, granted, I'm doing a half recipe, so I'm just using a half cup. All right, and this is the stage where if you wanted to add food coloring, you would do that here. Since we're using the lime Jello, we're just gonna go ahead and leave this layer green. All right, make sure you get it good and mixed up. And don't forget to prepare your cups in a tray so they're easy to transport to and from the fridge. Don't worry, we do have the cups and the lids for sale in both stores, so you will have access to those if you want them. I like using trays for the cups just because you're not trying to transport a bunch of half-full little cups. I also think it's easier to pour the Jello into a measuring cup and then pour it from there. Hey, and I didn't spill that time. I think that's a first. All right, so once you get your cups full, you're gonna wanna let them sit. Well, no, don't fill them full. You wanna go about halfway if you're doing a multi-layer shot. So get your cups full, get them in the fridge, wait for at least 30 minutes before you do the next layer. If you don't, the warm Jello from the new layer is gonna melt into the bottom layer and it'll mix your colors and they really won't be pretty. Okay, so I'll see you in a half an hour when these are set. Okay, so we've got our second batch cooked up. I figured I'd cut some time out for you guys. I've already got it cooked down. Now what we're gonna do with this layer is, well, first we're gonna add the limoncello. You've gotta make sure you have your booze in your Jello shots. All right, and I figured since I've only got the 1 color Jello, I'm gonna go ahead and add some food coloring to this. Now, after making the sample Jello shots that I did, what I think would be better is the gel type of food coloring. They use it a lot for cake decorating. I just think it'll hold in the Jello better, give you more color definition. But we're gonna add some black, apparently, to this green Jello just to give it a different color so you can see when it sets how the layers work. And you're going to want to make sure that the Jello you're working with for the new layer is absolutely room temperature. You can do the baby bottle test on the inside of your wrist where you test the melt, make sure it's not too warm. That'll work. Mine is still way too warm, so we'll be back when we're ready to pour our layers. Okay, so our first layer is done. You can see it's got a nice defined line there, and they're solid. Okay, so my second layer that I put some black food coloring in to make it a different, not as obvious green. It's cooled down, so we're gonna go ahead and fill our cups. I like to make sure that my Jello shots are full. make it worth your while and maybe not have to eat so many. And again, this is why I like using a tray. When you drip, it tends to collect most of the Jello. All right, so we're gonna let these sit and we'll show you what they look like when they're done. All right, so we've got our shots done. You can see the layer in there. Based on the colors and everything that's in it, we're gonna go ahead and call this the Citrus Swamp Shot. So when it comes to you making your own, you can get super fancy with either, designs like that. You can go per team. If not, you can just make regular Jello shots. You can use any type of liquor you want. I've used rum and the limoncello, so you can use anything. And have fun with it. Super Bowl is supposed to be fun, so are Jello shots. So if you would, comment, like, and subscribe. And remember, the party starts here at All Star Liquors.